Welcome to this webinar, where I will be showing you how ambitious women like you in corporate jobs can overcome self-doubt and climb the career ladder by using 5 simple but powerful strategies, even when I know you're juggling a busy schedule. It's a simple and practical approach because I like simple. It's 3 steps to a 6-figure income. So the 3 steps I'm going to share with you today are how to avoid the common mistakes that we make at work that hold us back, how to make that mindset shift about who and when we get promoted, and how to promote yourself and why you should promote yourself in order to have a successful career. If I can do it, you can do it too, because I'm just a normal girl who left school at 16 with not much in the way of qualifications. And I climbed the career ladder to become a senior leader, earning that 100 grand salary, that 6-figure salary. And this is what it looked like. It was quite a journey, I can tell you. And I started work earning just over £4,000, or some time ago. I was 16. I had not much in the way of qualifications, but I was ambitious, and I knew once I got into the workplace, I knew I could do well. It was the right environment for me. And you'll see on this journey that my salary just continued to rise, and I made some quite steep leaps in jobs that I chose along the way. But you'll also notice that there's a downward trend at one stage there. And that's because I decided to make a strategic move. Because at that point in my career, I couldn't see how I was going to earn the money that I wanted to earn and make the impact I wanted to make. So I made a decision to take a significant salary reduction and get a different job. But that led me then to bounce back and to forge my way, drive my career forward. And you can see that from then on, it was just climbing all the way. And I'm happy to say that when I got to my mid-40s, I was earning that 6-figure salary. But your journey will be different from mine because we're all different. All careers are different. You may get there sooner, you may get there later, but that's okay. Don't compare yourself to anyone else. I just want you to realize that it is possible for you. And I know it's possible because it's happened to me, but it hasn't just happened for me, because my methods have now been proven by hundreds of women in loads of industries in the UK and also internationally. I now work with many successful, ambitious women who have climbed that ladder using these frameworks, like Sally, who went from feeling undervalued in a director role to applying for and getting an exec director role in a job that she absolutely loves. And she was holding herself back to start with because she was being undervalued at work. It knocked her confidence. She wasn't feeling comfortable about selling herself. And so we worked together, first of all, to build her self-belief, then give her the skills to sell herself. And she went and got that next level job, and she's smashing it as an exec director. Like Rosie, who had a complete lack of self-belief in herself. She was headhunted by a recruiter who wanted her to apply for this head of service role. And initially she didn't. She was reluctant because she didn't believe that she was good enough. But she did then go for it, and she got the job. I worked with her on her interview skills, on selling herself, and building her confidence up, and she went and got the job. And we've been working together ever since then, since she got the job, and she's making a fantastic head of service. So these have used my proven framework, and that's what I'd like to share with you here today. So if you're in this training, the chances are that you're feeling stuck in your job. Maybe you're feeling undervalued or overworked. You might be unhappy, underpaid. Perhaps you're working long hours, feeling disillusioned with your lot. And we don't want you feeling like that, because when you feel like that, you have some big challenges. You'll be suffering from self-doubt. Maybe you feel you've not got the right qualifications for that next level job. And so you're not applying for senior roles and you're not earning your worth. And what you really want is to be more confident so that you can get that senior level job and feel valued, so that you can get that senior level job and make a bigger impact and feel proud of yourself, so that you can get that senior level job and increase your income and improve your life without needing to meet 100% of the job criteria before you apply. You want to achieve that without knowing that you need 20 years experience in the sector. You want to achieve that without having to know absolutely everything about that next level role. And you want to achieve all this without being overwhelmed and giving up time with your family. And it doesn't have to be like that. So who am I to be talking to you? Well, I'm Sheila Starr. I am a normal woman who has been where you are. I felt that self-doubt. I've stopped myself applying for senior roles, but I have learnt a lot along the way. I have learned how to overcome that self-doubt, and I have climbed that career ladder. And sometimes you have to take a leap of faith and believe in yourself. And some years ago, that's what happened to me. So this is how it started. I left school at 16. I had a few jobs. And then I got to the point where I knew that I was capable of something better and I wanted to do more. So I actually found myself applying for a job that I had no business applying for. Saw it in the newspaper. That's how long ago it was. And I just felt something about it. It was to set up a contact center from scratch, because that's my background in customer service and contact centers. But they wanted somebody who knew the sector. They wanted somebody to set up a contact center from scratch. And they wanted somebody who had a university degree. And I didn't have any of that. But I just thought, what have I got to lose? So I filled in an application form focusing on all the things I had done and could do. And I got an interview. Well, once you've got an interview, you've got a chance, haven't you? So I went to the interview. I answered the questions. I did a presentation to 3 directors. And although when I was first there, I was thinking, what am I doing here? I felt like a real imposter. What if I can't answer their questions? But once I got started in the interview, it went well. And my confidence grew through that interview. And I got the job. And that started a very successful career in the sector, which was social housing, in customer service, building contact centre from scratch. And I had a fantastic 20-year career after that. And what it led to was some fantastic challenges, because I built this contact centre and then we developed it, and then we implemented all the digital program, which was, some years ago now, but it was new at the time. And then I had another leap of faith, because I knew we needed somebody to lead our digital transformation. So I put myself forward for that. I didn't feel confident. I wasn't a techie person, but I just knew the vision. I had a vision of what we needed. And so I went and put myself forward for it. I got off my arse and I put on my brave pants and I went and spoke to the chief exec and said, you need this job and it's my job. He could have said no, but he didn't. And I applied for the job. I went through a rigorous interview process, although I was the only person internally that applied for it, and I got the job. And so I moved from customer service to technology. I became the director of technology and innovation, presenting at big conferences, talking about the program that we did, building another high-performing team leading transformation. And the thing for me was, what this leap of faith did was that it enabled me to make a bigger impact. So by having this senior role, it enabled me to make a difference. And that was really important to me. So I was able to improve the service to customers because I had the authority, I had the budget, I had the vision. I was able to make things more efficient, make things easier for colleagues at work. I was able to drive the quality of the service. And I also improved the staff morale, the performance, the engagement. And all of those were things made me have such a successful career and made me really proud of what I achieved. But having that 6-figure income also improved my life. It enabled me to go on luxury holidays, adventurous holidays. I was able to invest in a quality wardrobe of clothes so that I could step into that senior level role. I was able to go out and buy myself my little sports car, my convertible that we love using on those summer days whenever we get them. I installed my dream kitchen in my house, and it was all stuff to celebrate. So what I found along this journey was that it's all about self-belief. This is where it starts. It's all in the mind. It's all about what we tell ourselves. And then it's about taking relevant action. Small steps, brave steps, just take some steps. They need to be relevant and they need to be consistent. And this approach works for anything you want to achieve in your career at any level. So along my journey, I eliminated that being stuck from my career. Because don't you find that sometimes you've got all this experience now, you've actually got a great job, you've been very successful, but you've got this whole lot of experience and you've got more self-doubt than you've ever had before. And of course, that next level up is a big jump sometimes. But we have all these challenges. We live through our past experiences, things that have not gone well in the past. You know, we might be at that age where we're struggling with menopause. We might have family responsibilities that add challenges to our life. And sometimes we just think, I'm never going to be that executive. I'm never going to be that chief exec. And all of those thoughts and all of these challenges that we have, they keep us stuck. But I've eliminated that from my career. And what I learned along the way is that there is a hard way where you figure it all out yourself. And you're doing it alone. It takes a lot longer and it is a lonely journey. But you can take an easier way where you learn from other people, where you find someone who's done it before you. And this helps you increase your success, it helps you believe in yourself, and it helps you do it quicker. So this free training is for you. If you're ambitious and you want that senior level role, if you want a job where you can make an impact, if you have lots to offer that's going to make a difference, if you're ready to step up and take some action, and if you really want to get to that six-figure income. And it's not for you if you're happy being comfortable and secure in your role, if you're not ready to be visible and stand out in the workplace, if you're not prepared to make those brave decisions and take relevant action, and if you're not committed to investing in yourselves and your future, then it's not for you. And that's okay. It's all right if it's not for you. Sometimes it's just all in the timing. Maybe it's not quite the right time for you. But have a think about it and continue with this. If you resonate with the things that it is for you, then this is for you. So hang on in there. Okay, so this is what we're going to cover today. The 5 common mistakes that women make at work that holds them back. We're going to talk about the biggest myth about working hard and being promoted. And we're going to talk about how to position yourself as that next level candidate. So are you ready to dive in? Excellent. So mistake number 1, not selling yourself. We're shy about bragging, aren't we? We just feel it's not ladylike, it's a bit show-offy, but no one knows how capable you are if you don't sell yourself, if you don't tell them. You won't be on a list when somebody's looking for help with projects or something exciting going on. You won't get headhunted for that executive or top-level job that you're really after. And it can be uncomfortable, but there are ways that I teach my clients to promote yourself without being sleazy and without being arrogant. And this is why there are less female senior leaders, because we don't apply for jobs because we're not confident at selling ourselves. And if we do apply, we don't sell ourselves. And it's not the best person who gets the job. It's the best person who sells themselves. It's the person that sells themselves best. You get what I mean? So how many executives in the UK are women? Have a guess? It's 12%. But the ironic thing is that women make the best leaders. Women are better at creating environments that support flexible working practices, a collaborative approach with better teamwork, developing and nurturing talent, including succession planning. Women are better in a crisis, more innovative, and much more inclusive. And there's significant research out there that shows that companies who are led by women are more productive, more profitable, and have better staff engagement. So businesses need more female leaders, more role models. It's our responsibility to step up and become that person so that we can show the girls of the future that they can become female senior leaders. So here's a couple of things that I suspect you're not doing. You're not selling yourself because you're not gathering the evidence. You're not keeping the records of your successes and your achievements. How can you sell yourself if you don't know how good you are? So you need to start doing it. I know what you're like. If you were anything like me, you do a fantastic job, you deliver the project on time, in budget, but then you just tick it off and move on. You don't want to show off about it. You don't feel the need to show off about it. But do you even know about it? Are you gathering that evidence? You're not claiming your achievements. You are probably saying we instead of saying I. Now, this isn't about taking credit for other people's work, but you must take credit for your success. Don't be shy. particularly in interviews. It's the ideal scenario to be saying, I led the team, I delivered this project, I implemented this change, I improved our profitability, I did it. Be proud of it. Mistake number 2 is you think that getting it wrong is bad. And what happens when you're scared of making a mistake? Nothing happens, because you're so worried about making that mistake that you don't do anything, you don't try anything. And I know you'll be thinking, yeah, Sheila, but I'm a perfectionist. Well, don't be, because nothing needs to be perfect. And perfectionism just leads to procrastination. Maybe you dwell on the past thinking, oh, I've been there before, I've tried that and it didn't work. Well, don't do that either, because your past is not your future. And it just leads to self-doubt. Perhaps you compare yourself to others. Oh, I'd never be able to do it as well as they do. Look at that. I'd never be able to do that. Well, don't do that either, because that just leads you to feeling inadequate. And actually, you don't know what's going on in somebody else's life. Some of those people that you see being successful and confident inside, that is not how they're feeling at all. But what you're doing is you're scared of feeling humiliated. You're scared of feeling stupid when things go wrong. And this stunts your career, because you're prioritizing your security over your potential. And this is why you feel stuck. This is why you feel stuck at this level. So you need to shift your mindset and understand that failure is a stepping stone to success. We all fail, but we all learn from it. Like Claire did. When I started working with Claire, she was properly stuck in a bad place in her head. She'd taken a job, it was just before COVID, it wasn't in the sector she wanted to be in, and then the longer she stayed, the longer she felt that she was just stuck and she wouldn't be able to get back to the sector that she really wanted. But we worked together and we reframed her thoughts. I tried to encourage her to look at this job as a learning experience. What could she learn in this job that was going to help her get the next job? And dramatically, she really changed this around. She really flipped her mindset. She started to go into meetings that were actually with partners that were in the sector she wanted to be in. She stepped up and she took on projects so that she'd have the experience that she needed when that job came up. And actually, she used it to gain the skills that she needed, but she also started to enjoy the job. And it made such a difference to her and her whole demeanor and the way she was feeling that even her husband noticed the difference in her. And now she's no longer stuck, and she's absolutely got herself the job that she wanted in the sector that she wanted, which is a senior level role, giving her the salary and the impact that she really wanted. Mistake number 3 is that you prioritize others. We're naturally people pleasers. It's a typical female behavior. We like to be liked. We're always there for others. I used to be that person. I used to be good at work. I used to be a great manager. People would come to me and ask me to help them with things, and I would always say yes. And it almost cost me my marriage, because it feels good to help others, doesn't it? Saying no can be hard. We take on too much. Then because we take on too much, we feel useless because we can't cope with it all. And because I was helping others too much, I was then working really hard. And that's why me and my husband had a bit of a falling out at the time. But we got over it, because you have to set your own boundaries and put yourself first. You absolutely need to nourish yourself. And it really will help with everything in your career, because when you put yourself first and look after yourself and implement well-being, then you'll have more focus, more energy, and you will perform better. Mistake number 4 is you're doing too much doing. You're stuck in the weeds. You're still stacking the shelves. You feel the need to support your team. And that's great. We absolutely want to support our teams, but it's not by doing the doing. Their job's to do the doing. Your job is to do the removing blockers, removing the barriers, giving them the tools and the resources that they need. And you can't do that if you're down in the weeds and stacking the shelves. So you need to be doing more leading, more strategic thinking, more planning, more future gazing, because this is what builds a high performing team, but also gets you ready for that senior level role. You need to step up and do the leading. Mistake number 5 is you don't invest in yourself, because everyone else comes first. You don't end up developing yourself and your career. And that used to be me as well. I didn't used to invest in myself. Sometimes organizations will provide coaching and training, won't they? And I've been through some of that, but it can be a bit too generic. It's not very specific and individual to you. And actually, it's not that confidential either. And when we don't invest in ourselves or our own future, we end up caged, we end up boxed. We're trying to break out, but we just can't. So we're not fulfilling our potential. and we are back to being stuck. And with all of the women that I've worked with, and from my own personal experience, there's two main blockers I see to our own self-development. And one is time and the other is money. But I can tell you that these are just excuses. If you really want something, you'll find the time and you'll find the money. Because the real reason that you don't invest in yourself is that you don't believe you're worth it. Deep down, this is what's going on, and you really need to change that. So how do we avoid making these mistakes? Well, firstly, we have to get comfortable selling yourself. You have to gather that evidence so that you know what you're good at and what you've achieved. You need to claim those achievements by saying I, and you need to learn to be proud of yourself. You need to be prepared to try and fail. Do things outside your comfort zone. Try new things that you've never done before. Make mistakes. Learn from your mistakes. Put yourself first. You really must implement a self-care routine so that you're looking after yourself first, and learn to say no constructively. Because when you learn to say no to the things you shouldn't be doing, you can then start to say yes to the things that you could be doing, the things that will develop your career, the things that will enhance your life. You need to start thinking strategically, looking at the bigger picture, looking at the future of the service, looking at business plans, thinking about how you can step up and be that leader, be that strategic leader that's going to make a difference and is actually leading a team and not just being part of it. And then you need to invest in your own future, because you really are the best investment you will ever make. So schedule in the time, spend the money, and invest in your future. So let's talk about what I believe is the biggest myth of all at work. And that is that you think because you've got all the experience, because you've been there a long time, because you work really hard, because you do an amazing job, that you'll get promoted. And I'm sorry, it's just not true. You will have seen people get promoted when they've only been there 5 minutes, or people who are not as good at the job as you are, but they get promoted. And let's look at great work, because it feels like the right thing to do, doesn't it? But when you always go that extra mile, when you spend hours perfecting your work, then you will get pigeonholed. People will know you as the expert in that area and they want to keep you there. And you also then don't have any time for your development, because you're always busy. You're so committed to the job that you're actually doing that it takes all of your time and all of your energy. So I'm here to tell you that excelling at your job and working hard on its own is not what will get you promoted. Because the next level job needs different skills. What got you here to this job is not what gets you to the next job. The next job will be more strategic. The next job will be next level up. It is different skills that you need in order to get you there. So what, I hear you ask, what is it I need to do? Well, this leads me nicely on to part 3, because this is the answer. You need to step up into a next level mindset now. You need to find a way to start being, acting, doing next level. Climb up to that next level in your mind. You need to be acting like that. They say, don't they, dress for the job that you want. And this is what we're talking about. Talk the job that you want, dress the job you want, act the job you want. Because this is all about proving your potential. So the job that you're doing now is fantastic. You've proved that you can do that job, but you haven't proved you can do the next job. And why would you? You're not in it. But this is what we need to be thinking. This is the mindset shift that you need to make. You need to be thinking about proving your potential for the next job. They need to see that you are capable of that next level role. So you can do that by speaking up. Make sure that you go into meetings where you're sharing your opinions and ideas. Make sure you're asking questions to clarify. Stand out. Don't be scared to stand out. You need to show up and be counted. So be a bit different. Don't follow the crowd, but get noticed for the right reasons, of course. Always constructive, always corporate, always supportive. Doesn't mean you can't challenge. You absolutely challenge, but in a positive, constructive, corporate way. Get involved. Put yourself out there, join focus groups, attend strategy sessions, chair meetings, whatever is going on in the organisation, make sure that you're getting involved so that people know who you are. They know what your opinions are. They know that they can trust you. They know that you've got that potential. Take on next level tasks whenever you can. You know, talk to your manager, become your boss's right-hand woman, volunteer to support with other things that are going on that are at that next level so that you can actually understand and see and learn. And then you've got some experience that you can take with you. You know, attend those next level meetings, go to the board meeting, go to the exec meetings, shareholders meetings, present if you can. Just get yourself out there and start thinking next level already. Observe the other people, observe your exec directors and your chief exec and see how they're walking, talking, acting, thinking. Start thinking that way now. Okay, so that's quite a lot. Let's do a quick recap. So you've got some mistakes that you need to avoid. And in order to do that, you need to get comfortable selling yourself. You need to be prepared to fail and learn. You absolutely need to prioritize you. Then you need to stop doing and start leading and invest in yourself and your future. Remember, excelling at your job does not get you promoted. So you need to be more average at the job you're doing and step up and act that next level now. If you really want that six-figure salary, you have to stop playing small and you have to start playing big. And I know you can. I know you can become a senior leader. I know you can become an executive director. So like Lynn, who got that next level job and a massive pay rise. And this was because we worked together really on her self-belief. She then went to an interview. She applied for a job she would never have applied for before and absolutely smashed it. And she is doing a fantastic, this was a real surprise for her, but it was, honestly, it's fantastic to see. And then Fiona, who finally stepped up to exec director, earning 120 grand. And this is the note that she sent me saying that she'd sat as a director for far too long. She kept telling herself she needed more experience. She convinced herself she couldn't do an exec level role. But once she started working with me, I challenged all of her beliefs, excuse me. She started to think differently. And although she was nervous, she was ready. And she went and got it. So what does your future look like? Where will you be in 6 months' time, 12 months' time? Will you still be stuck? Or will you be one of my testimonials? Will you be in a better job where you feel valued and are making a difference? You absolutely must make a decision and take action. It can be a tough decision. It's a hard decision, a brave decision, but make the decision anyway and take some kind of action. Don't keep putting it off. So I'm going to make the action easy for you. I'm going to make it easy for you to get started because I've created an opportunity for you to have a completely free career strategy call with me. So I've opened up this opportunity and this will leave you, if you come on this call, it will leave you with the exact steps that I've taken and my clients have taken to go from feeling stuck to actually being that six-figure senior level person, making an impact, earning the big money. And I'll help you. I'll help you identify what's holding you back and we'll give you a plan of action to go away with. And if it feels like a good fit, then maybe there'll be a chance to work with me like some of these people did. I've got so many people I've worked with now and it's just been so rewarding to work with them and to see the change in them, to see them get better jobs. I get a real thrill when they ping me a message to say that they've got the job that they were going for, but also that self-belief, it's how they feel. But, you know, of the people that I've worked with over this last couple of years, over 70% have got themselves new jobs. And some of them didn't want a new job. They just wanted to be more confident or to be better leaders. And literally everybody that I've worked with has benefited in some way, whether it's to be more confident, whether it's to be a better leader, or whether it's to get that next level job. But it all starts with that career strategy call. As I say, you might get a chance to work with me further, but let's start with the call. Booking this call is literally the most important thing you can do right now. So go ahead, book it. I've only got a few slots left. There's a short form for you to fill out so that I can prepare for the call and make it the best experience for you. But it really is time for you to take action. It's time for you to unlock your potential. So thank you for watching this free training. I hope it's been helpful. These are other ways that you can get in touch with me, but otherwise book the call. There's a button on this webinar to book a call with me, because I really believe that you deserve it and we can help you make a difference. So book that call now.